Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. All of our intelligent chats are now wise markets, wise chats. I came up with that on my own. Wise conversations. We're eating better, we're spending less, and of course, that's wise. I'll tell you what, we've got some incredible things happening here on the outside of all of us wearing masks, and now sort of trying to do some online, some real, a little virtual, but all very meaningful work out of the community here at Springtime. Got a guy here who's been taking care of my eyes. These glasses look so sharp because his staff picked them out. That's anybody says, "Hey, you really pick glasses out good?" I'm like, no, 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 no. It's Brian's staff over at Visionary Eye. I've got see these keep my glasses clean, man. I used to like use T-shirts and stuff, Brian, but like it messes my glasses all up. Then I get smudges, and then I get like scratches, and then I have to call you, which wasn't easy over the last year. How you doing, brother? How are things at Visionary Eye?
Doing great, staying super busy. Thankfully, patients have been totally on board with what we're doing COVID-wise, and things have been incredibly smooth.
You were the first one I saw when the pandemic began because I needed, my eyes were changing, and I'm like, I got to get an appointment. I got to get an appointment. Plague? What do you mean plague? I mean, so the next thing you know, you were the first one to like hit me in the head with the little red thing to check my temperature. And I thought, all right, we're on the new things here, but here we are a year later.
Yeah.
I think my vision's okay, and my friends at MOI are bringing me a new desk, and I got new computers and stuff. And you're still doing amazing work, man. I want to welcome your daughter in, Riley. Brian Granek, of course, has been out of Visionary Eye. How long you been doing eyes and stuff? I mean, give everybody your whole background because, like, I want
Absolutely.
to be on that beach, dude. Reminds me of Tahiti right there.
So I've been out of school 20 years now, and I've been on my own in Owings Mills with Visionary Eye Care for 9 years, coming up soon, and it's been way beyond my expectations. Absolutely love it. I've always loved what I do. For the first time, I love where I'm doing it and who I'm doing it with. And we have a great diverse patient base and crazy technology, and it's really been a good fit.
You're a weird cat, man. I'm not allowed to call you doctor. It's like Moeller's like that. I
Right.
found out. I've
Yeah.
known Moeller since '82. We had a conversation last year when Joe Biden's wife, there were the questions of her, the doctorate and all that. And then I find out Moeller's a doctor. You've been a doctor. Everybody wants to call you doctor. You're like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
don't call me
I
doctor, right?
always, I always introduce myself to patients by my first name. And I say that if you can't figure out I'm the doctor by the time I'm done, it's my fault. So I don't need to hear it all day.
Well, if I meet Dr. Jill Biden, I don't know that I'll call her Jill. I may call her, First Lady is what I may
There
call her.
we go.
But, you had a First Lady in your life, and certainly you've had just an incredible tragedy in your life. And out of this, you're doing amazing things with your family. Your daughter Riley's here. Hi, Riley. What's going on? How's life? Do they let you go to school these days, or are you virtual? Like, give me the first thing I got to ask kids when they come on these days.
So we've been hybrid since October and been going in 2 days a week, and they're switching to 4 days right now.
Is
So
that better or worse for you? Like, seriously?
I don't mind the hybrid.
I
It's
think
a
two
lot
days
going
is
in.
plenty for her. She likes 3 days in pajamas, 2 days in
Yeah,
clothes.
I
So.
get to sit with the dog, so it's nice.
Well, as long as the Wi-Fi is functioning, right? I mean, we can stay focused on things. You've put together this amazing thing we're doing. Bands for Brains. Bandsforbrains.com is the way to find it. It's easy to find because it's purple. I will allow you to tell your family story, Brian, Riley, either one of you, because your story it came along right around the time that my story with my wife came along. My wife is obviously had two transplants. We've gotten to know each other, Brian, through baseball and sports and people, and you taking care of my eyes, and you have a story to tell, so I'll allow you to do that.
So about 5.5 years ago, my wife Jennifer and I were in Costa Rica to celebrate her 40th birthday, and we were riding ATVs in the jungle in Costa Rica, and hers skidded off the side and fell about 8 to 10 feet, and unfortunately had a traumatic brain injury. Um, we spent about, there's my dog talking. We spent about a
I
month.
love the family vibe, man. That's what we got to do, you know. You know, my friends at Wise Market, Brian, we did a piece this week, Pause for Pets, because it's their month to round up, which I did today. I bought berries and I rounded up Pause for Pets, right? Because we have my cat, right? And the gal from Wise, Julianne, she did it at the office. She said, you know, if I did the segment at home, all the dogs would be up in my lap. And I'm like, that's what I want in the pet segment. So I'm going to give a little love to the Wise Market. What's your dog's name?
This is Ghost.
Ghost. Hi, Ghost. Is that what kind of dog is that? American Eskimo?
Ghost is a Pomsky, so a Pomeranian Husky mix.
Oh, I can barely see. Okay, all right. It's midday. My kitty's asleep. I would bring her on right now. So I'm glad we got to meet your pooch. So you're talking about your wife and your dog hears you. So it's
yeah. So anyway, so Jennifer had a severe traumatic brain injury, and we spent about a month in Costa Rica before it was safe to travel home. Then we went to shock trauma at University of Maryland, and unfortunately, Jen never fully emerged from her coma. She's in what's called a minimally conscious state, which is again a form of coma where your eyes are open. But she can't really move her arms or legs. She can move her left foot a little bit. And unfortunately, Jen never really recovered, never really responded to treatment. She's getting very good care at Levendale near Sinai Hospital, and is not in pain and is not in anguish. And, you know, we miss her terribly, and we're doing the best I can. We're doing the best we can as a family. And, you know, Riley, when it came time for her independent project for school, decided that she wanted to do something that would contribute to the Maryland Brain Injury Association towards research for brain injury and really brain injury awareness as well. So
well, I don't need to tell you, when, you know, tragedy strikes, you find an army around you, right? I mean, you know, March 20th, 2014, my wife was diagnosed on September 29th, 2015. Both times people came, said, what can we do? What can we do? We said, here, swab. You know, we gave them, you might have gotten swabbed at that period of time, I believe. So, but we tried to do what we could do and then you have all these people that want to do something. They want to give something. They want to write a check. They want to buy something. They want to buy you flowers. They want to give you a hug, right? Then you have to go back to real life, and then something like this happens, and you have all these people that want to do something. This is an amazing thing that you put together. Riley, tell me how you're surrounding yourself with all these people to do something wonderful. And it has one of my favorite things, and it bands, you know, so that means music. Everybody knows me, knows I love music. So tell me about your event.
Yeah, so I kind of just had this idea, and my school is very like flexible. They have all these different resources, so I'm like, why not?
Well, they
So
let you stay home half the time, apparently. Apparently, all these schools are that way these days. But
yeah,
they didn't let me hybrid. They said, get on the bus.
yeah. So I went to the people at my school. I'm like, I want to do this project, and they're like, all right, sure, go ahead. And I took a free block, and for this past semester, I've been working on it, putting together. And I am a musician. I play guitar, and I love music.
Why is she not plugged in? What kind of segment is this?
Yeah.
we could have, but we both
You take requests or no? No requests?
we both miss live music terribly.
Oh my God. It's a recurring, ongoing subject in my life. The last couple of weeks, I've started bringing musicians on. You know, I've had John Allen on, all my buddies. You know, Mickey Coachella's coming on this week to talk about missing music. I've said to everyone, I will feel whole when I have a beer. Riley, not for you, root beer for you, maybe birch beer. We'll start you off slow. But when I get a beer at Merriweather, I'm going to feel alive again, you know, at the end of all this. So tell me about Bands for Brains. What is Bands for Brains? Tell me, Riley.
Yeah, so it's a free ticketed event, and we're getting all our money through donations, and it's just people being charitable. And we're working with the BIMD, who I've worked with in the past for a little school project. They're great over there at the Brain Injury Association of Maryland. They've been a huge help, and we got these 5 bands. So there's Dog Breath. He's from Arizona. There's Pleasure Venom from like Dallas.
Austin.
No, I think no, they're from Dallas.
So they're virtually coming in on this,
Yeah.
correct? Okay.
This is
Nice.
a fully virtual concert that'll be streamed on YouTube.
Yeah, it's all pre-recorded, but yeah, it's gonna be.
And then streamed together on tell me the date and time.
Do you play electric guitar or like acoustic?
I play both.
All right, and like what kind of tunes do you play? I mean, old hippie stuff like the Old Man, like some Stones and some Beatles, or like what are we doing?
I listen to like all types of rock, punk rock, grunge, classic rock.
She's been raised right.
I am blown away by the things I've seen, like Dave Grohl having the drum thing with the young lady, and you know, and more than that, like the Foo Fighters thing where everybody gets in the field and doing their thing. Like I hear people, Brian, I'm 52, right? And you know, Riley, you don't know about this, but I was a music critic back in the 80s. If you saw Almost Famous, I sort of lived a life a little weird like that. There's a whole bunch of old pictures of me, and they're all real, which is crazy. But you know, I talked to my old rock and roll buddies, and they're like, man, rock and roll's dead. Rock and roll's dead. I'm like, I saw Kicks shaking their derriere the other night on the hood of some car out in a drive-in in Frederick, and the people are honking the horns. People can't wait to get back out. But more than that, it's young people, right? Like the whole School of Rock thing and people your age. Riley, how old are you?
I'm 17.
So if I were to make you play 3 songs, if I say, go get the guitar, play 3 songs, what 3 songs would you choose to play if I didn't say, like, what, if you didn't have to rehearse, if you just played right now for 15 minutes, what would you play?
Let me think. Probably a Green Day song. They're my
okay.
And see, maybe, probably maybe some Tom Petty in there.
All right. Okay, good. I like it. I like it already. Reminds me of 1981 so far. Keep going. Well, not Green Day.
I know a little bit of The Cure.
Oh, see now you're talking my language. So my best friend in the 80s when Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me came out, he was a Cure nut. So, I've lost him actually. He's a dear friend of my life that I lost about a decade ago. He had Parkinson's, and we lost him. But Doug, and I think about him all the time, but he loved the Cure. And about 2 years, it was 2 years ago, Def Leppard was going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame up in Brooklyn. And my buddy came in from San Francisco, said, meet me up here, I'll go. And I'm like, I always wanted to go to a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. And the Cure, Radiohead, Stevie Nicks, Def Leppard, the Zombies. I'm trying to think who else, but these were the bands going in. The Cure was unbelievable. Like they played about 30 minutes of music, and it made me just want to get on a plane and go see him play. So like huge, Cure fan. Huge Depeche Mode fan. You Depeche Mode fan? You're not industrial, no?
No, I like Depeche Mode.
All right. See, 30 years later, you're raising good children, Brian Granek.
What were your first 2 concerts?
Foo Fighters and the Foo Fighters.
Oh, see, I saw Styx and Rush, so I'm a little. Riley Granek is here. Brian Granek is here. The visionary eyes. They take care of my eyes, take care of my wife's eyes. Brian, you talk about my wife's eyes a little bit because my wife's had cancer twice, and you've been a little bit of a rescue captain. You also have a friend over in Cross Keys that takes great care of my wife. But people that have special issues with their eyes, I mean. My wife took her health for granted until she had leukemia and needed 2 bone marrow transplants. Your wife, and the tragedy that you've had for your family, life is precious, but man, our eyes, we take them for granted to the minute we get a headache or we're dry or we get poked or a blood vessel, like all the above, right? And then we need you. And I'm happy to have you. Everybody needs somebody like you on the wall there. But, my wife has gone through this, and I'm sure on a day-by-day basis, you're seeing people. My mom died. She's 98 years old. Cataracts, macular degeneration. I don't even know what the hell the macular degeneration is, but I've been saying it for 30 years because she had it for 30 years,
Yeah, well, it's obviously a pretty important thing, and I love it. For me, it's good. There's no blood and no death and instant gratification. So
I can see better, dude. I love you, right?
For a big baby like me, it's a good thing. But we, are able, just by looking in the back of the eye, able to diagnose things like diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, brain tumors, MS. A lot of different diseases show up first in the eye. And one of the things we kind of forget about that a lot of patients have severe dry eye that can be. You tired, Ghost?
Do you take care of your dog's eyes? I'm just wondering.
I don't.
Aha, I didn't know.
Out of my realm.
I take care of the
That's
dog.
right. But we forget that side effects of medications or treatment like chemotherapy and things like that can cause a lot of issues with the eyes, a lot of severe dryness, and we're able to manage it with some different ways. So
I'll tell you what, man, I appreciate you the last couple of years, certainly with my wife. My wife came to you with, great, immense discomfort, right? Like an insurance issue, like all of the above that she had dealt with throughout all of, her trauma and 155 nights in the hospital and 2 bone marrow transplants and almost dying the second time around, like all of that to come out of it. Her eyes are her biggest challenge, and dry eye, and her eyes don't make tears. And she has these pros lenses. Can you explain what my wife goes through? Because I marvel at the doctors that kept her alive. I marvel at people like you that she's on a mountain right now in New Hampshire. She just texted me, like literally, and she feels great. And I remember about 9 months where she never thought she'd see right again, And James Trapp, by the way, to bring a little Ravens into this, I don't have too much purple around, but you and I know each other through the Ravens. James Trapp had a bone marrow transplant. His sister saved his life. He came in to do my event, and he told my wife right on the back end of her second transplant. Was it her second or her first? It was her second transplant. He told her, your eyes are going to be your problem. Your eyes are, because his eyes were a major problem for him.
And dumping poison into your body does some incredible, amazing things to kill cancer, but it has a lot of side effects, of course. And severe dry eye and irregular corneas becomes an issue. Your vision is dramatically affected by dry eye. It's not just how they physically feel, but it's how you see too, because you need that kind of smooth layer on your cornea in order to be able to see clearly. So
I could sit here and talk about eyes all day with you. I bet you could too, right?
It's a lot. I could, yeah.
Well, we all have them, and we all take them for granted until the tiniest little piece of dust gets right. Like it's just so. It is amazing. We're amazing creatures. We really are.
I pulled literally the smallest piece of metal out of somebody's eye the other day, and they were like instantly like relieved, and they could not have been happier. Even when the numbing drops kind of wore off, they were still ecstatic that they could actually be comfortable and sleep again. So
well, you do this every day, and I appreciate you. My wife appreciates you. I think all your patients will be watching this. I hope you guys share this. Bands4brains.com. Bands4brains.com. It's a virtual fundraiser concert to raise money for brain injury research. The concert takes place May 15th, 7 p.m. Don't come too hungover from the Preakness. And just go to Bands for Brains and how it works, and the bands, and you can donate, and there's sponsors, and there's all sorts of good stuff. And Riley, you hosting this thing? Like, what happens? I mean, are you taking the mic and saying, "Hey, I'm Riley, come on in," or what happens on this weekend?
I'm not. I'm trying to keep myself generally pretty private, because there are a lot of other people who aren't local.
Why don't you talk with your guitar, man? Play some "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" Prince style or something. Come on.
I'll leave that to the people who do this as their job, but no, it's really just going to be the bands. They're the spotlight of this part of it, and I want to give all the credit to them. They're incredible artists, and they're all
donating their time and
Beautiful.
Energy for this as well. So really appreciative of the bands and them stepping up, and pretty cool that these aren't just local acts. These are people from all over the country that learned about Riley's call, learned about the cause, and just want to help and just want to play music in front of people, even if it has to be virtual for now.
Well, we all miss music. Riley, I'm telling you, man, we're gonna get you a stool and a little, like one of those little buckets, and have you play some tunes and tip away. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Let's go. All right. I like it. All right. Next time we're going to have you play. Brian Granek's been my friend for a long time. Visionary Eye Care. They take great care of folks right out in Owings Mills. You can find them. Bandsforbrains.com is the way to find Riley and all the bands this weekend as we're rocking out. Brian, I can't let you go without just a little bit of they wanted me to stick to sports, so this is the part where I'm like the sports guy. You have any thoughts? No hitters, right? New draft picks, right? We're playing lacrosse. We got a Preakness. They're running a race this week. Like we're getting normal a little bit,
been a
right?
big week locally. The Caps season winding down, and
That was a fiasco. That was a disgrace.
The beginning of the Rangers
Oh,
game.
come on,
Nuts.
man. I mean, Slapshot was so 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I just, there are things about sports I love. That's always been one that I've always felt like you don't need to teach your kids that. That's while your daughter is sitting next to you. So I'll say that. But from a local perspective, the sun is shining again. People are out. They're spending money. They're eating. They're getting safe. I got my vaccine. My arm still hurts. I got my second one yesterday. You're all shot up, right? You're a doc, right?
I'm good.
Yeah, I get my second one tomorrow, actually.
That's right.
I love when these young people are getting vaccinated. You must have
number 2 tomorrow on Mother's
Day. Parents. That's good parenting. I see this, playing rock and roll, playing Green Day, listening to The Cure, open-minded to Depeche Mode. All right, all good. Brian, love you, appreciate you. My eyes are good, although I got to get the glare-free thing. So see, because you can see, if you look close, you can see Riley right here in my.
We'll fix that glare.
Appreciate you. Good luck with your fundraiser. It's always great to visit with you and the family and the dog.
Much love, brother. Good to see you, and happy Mother's Day to everybody. Listen.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Preakness week. Happy pause for pets, because I hear the dog barking back there. Make sure you're rounding up. My son just adopted a beautiful little kitten, so we're all out doing our part to help the animals and give some love as well. And your dog had to be in the shoot. I love that.
He's great.
I'm waiting for my cat to get so comfortable with the boom of my voice that she'll walk in front of the camera, but not so much. I think it's nap time in kitty world. I am Nestor. We are WNST.net, AM 1570. Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore positive.